Hey, babies. Don't worry, I'm not locked out again, and this is not sangria. I just needed to talk. We just need to talk. You know what? I declare this hour happy hour. And this is not alcoholic. I just mixed a little cranberry juice and orange juice so I feel special. I threw on some clothes just so I can feel like I'm going somewhere because it looks like we're in this for the long haul, doesn't it? I have so many questions, so many thoughts. Do you ever just want to tell our leaders, move out of the way, let me do it? You ever just want to say that? Like, just, you know what? I got it. Thank you. Have a seat. Let me do it. Let me fix it. Can we talk about this whole stimulus package again? Just for a moment. I'm not going to rag on about it, but we can't even call it a stimulus check. We need to call it like an economic impact check because it's not stimulating anything. You tell me what $1,200 is going to pay. It may put some food on some people's table. It will make a difference a little bit, but no, because this is a one-time payment we're talking about here. Countries like Canada are giving citizens, I don't know if you've heard about this, $2,000 a month, everybody, until this is under control. And that's just a part of their package. In England, and in Denmark, they're paying anywhere from 75 to 85% of people's income from the year prior. Now, let me just tell you why that's smart and why what we're doing is just not so smart. $1,200 one-time payment that it looks like we may not see for 5 to 20 weeks. They're going to send it out in tiers. So some people are going to get it in 5 weeks electronically. Others are going to get it maybe 20 weeks out. But how does that help someone who right now has nothing in the bank and is trying to figure out how they're going to buy diapers for their baby, formula, how they're going to put food on their table right now? I'm talking about not waiting for an unemployment check and the amount of time, that window that they're giving, if they even qualify for that. It's leaving so many people, immigrants, people who are here who've been paying into our tax system but do not have a social security number because they said if you don't have a social security number, you ain't get a check. So how does that help them? What about, here's the other one. If you have a child and if you qualify, if you fall under the income threshold, you're going to get $500 per child. But what about people who just had a baby, who had the baby in 2019? I did. I mean, I know I'm not getting a check, but what about my baby? What about Harper if I was supposed to qualify for a check? They're not counting that this year. They're saying instead, when you file your 2020 taxes sometime in 2021, then you'll get a credit. But again, what about the right now? Oh. And then they're talking about kids who are 16 years and older. You will not get a check for them. So if you've got a bunch of teenagers running around your house, eating you out of house and home right now, they're in all the Oreo cookies. Those are the ones that eat the most, right? You're not getting a check for them. College students are not getting a check. But wait a minute, they've got bills too, right? They got student loans. What are they doing about student loans? I got to research that one, okay? They've got cell phone bills. They've got their credit card bills adding up. So there are so many people who are being left out currently with this quote unquote stimulus package or check. And I just think that England and Denmark have it right. And let me tell you why. If what you want to do is keep people spending money so you can keep the economy going through this very difficult time, then people need to have money, right? Instead, what the U.S. is doing is we're bailing out again and we're, giving money and all of this grace to these large corporations, which we already know doesn't work because it does not trickle down directly. So they're giving the money to them in hopes that it will reach us. Versus if they did are you kidding me? Some of these other countries are doing, you pay 75 to 85% of what someone is making. And mind you, if we're staying home, we're forced to stay home, we're naturally going to spend less money anyway, right? So it'll all equal out. It'll be as if you're getting your regular check. And so if you have money, what are you doing? Especially if you're stuck at home, you're fixing up your house, maybe you're furnishing, you're doing some grocery shopping, you're doing online shopping. So it's keeping the economy going. So they are doing the right thing as far as of trying to avoid as best as possible a recession. Instead, we're headed on a nosedive into a depression. Why? And I'm going to tell you what I found out. Actually, don't worry, it's not alcohol, so I can sip all I want. I'm going to save that because I don't want to just rag on, complaining. That's just not my style, is to complain about everything. I just feel like, right now, and I'm going to leave this part at this. Right now, what our government should do is at least what Canada's doing, which is give everybody, no matter what your tax filing, how much you earn, no matter if you are here in this country and you've paid into this tax system, they should give everyone $2,000 a month and say that rent and mortgage and utilities are frozen right now. Yes, credit card bill, everything. No one can collect anything or send any notices. It's all frozen. Instead, what's happening is, and I don't know if any of you have gotten this, I found this really interesting. Some of the utility companies, they started out trying to do the right thing, but then it's kind of like a backhanded turn, because they're sending out emails saying, our hearts are with you during this COVID crisis. We love you. We're here for you. Call us if you need anything. Here's some resources, right? And then right behind that, tell me if you got it, they're sending emails reminding you when your utilities are due. Hello. Number one, I've never received an email from my utility companies. I don't know if you have, but I've never received an email telling me when my utilities are due. I pay on time, but they never. Why would I be receiving a reminder now in the middle of this? Basically what they're saying is, we feel for you. That's what the first email says. But the second one is, but we still want our money and it's still due right now. And mind you, everyone is closed. Everybody got to stay at home notice. People are working from home at these companies, but you can hardly get anyone on the phone. Yeah. So you can't even get full clarity to find out if there are programs that you qualify for. But hold on, because I'm going to spend tomorrow and a few days next week just calling several companies that I've heard and gotten complaints from my clients who've reached out to me to find out my advice, from family members who've had experiences. I'm going to call and just see what the experience is and find out what programs are available. Does that sound like a plan? And maybe I'll just do like a free Zoom call for everybody next week and we can answer some questions. But whew, all right, I've unloaded. I promise no more, because we get enough of that on the news. So I'll tell you the upside. Let's talk about upsides of stuff. The upside of this whole experience is once I stopped fighting just the force that I could not control, and I said the serenity prayer. You know the serenity prayer? Have you said that yet? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is just one thing that none of us have any control over and we cannot change. And all we can do is stay still, listen to God, reconnect. So the good thing is this has allowed me to really get to know my 8-year-old, even on a whole nother level. Like, when I say whole nother level, like, that's my homie. She got me there dancing, doing TikTok and stuff. But really knowing her heart. And like, we had a great conversation last night where I realized, wow, she's about to turn the tide from being a kid to a young woman, where she was able to express to me how she felt when Harper, the new baby, came into the picture. And she was able to really like verbally go there. And she cried a little bit and I cried. Just, nothing was, but naturally when you have a new baby, there are going to be some feelings. And so she'd held that in. Think about it. Harper is over a year old now. So for her to be able to express that to me verbally, and for me, and I was proud of myself to be quiet and listen, right? Because as a parent, sometimes we're like, what? Would you stop all that whining and cry? No, but we were able to sit down and have like a real conversation. I don't know. I just value that so much. And I don't know that I would have had the time or necessarily that kind of patience to give her the space to just breathe and talk and be. So that was something good that came out of all of this. The other one is that I've been able to cook breakfast for my family every morning. Yeah, like real breakfast. So that's been, good. I just, here's the crisis that I'm trying to figure out, aside from the COVID crisis. Are y'all ready for this? Because you better get ready and figure out how to deal with this one. How do we explain to our children that the Easter Bunny has COVID? How are we going to do this? Because now everybody's got this stay-at-home mandate, which they should have done 2 weeks ago. But did you go shopping for Easter? That's coming up next week. Did you get Easter baskets and stuff? Oh my God. I'm going to be downstairs in the middle of the night trying to find last year's Easter baskets and pulling any candy I can out of the closets. Because trust me, That's the one thing the kids are not going to understand. The Easter Bunny is supposed to be magic. How does the Easter Bunny have COVID, Mommy? All right, I got to go. Again, happy hour. That's what I consider this one. Non-alcoholic happy hour. Why? Because we're happy and we are blessed. And you know why we're blessed? Because no matter where we are, guys, we could always be worse off. There are people who left this earth this morning, today. There are people who lost family members in the middle of all this. So if you're here to watch this video, we are blessed no matter what the circumstances. Everything else is material, right? You got your health, and health is wealth. And I love you. Mwah.